Welcome to Conversations with Lauren and Ali, where we bridge all things in the spiritual and human experience.
This is a space where raw honesty meets higher truth, where personal stories open doors to deeper self-awareness, and where the messy, magical journey of being human is honoured as a sacred path of awakening. So, take a breath, get cozy, and join us in today's conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been it's been rather strange times lately, hasn't it? Strange
Mhm.
time, I should say. Time feels strange. Time feels like it's accelerated or something at the moment for me.
Mhm.
Do you notice the
It's bending both ways.
both ways? Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of sometimes things are moving really fast, and then other times it feels like it's in um, slow motion almost.
Right.
Not
Right.
even slow motion. That's probably not, I don't even know how to explain it, but it feels very present, like, and it feels like the
Yeah.
moments are really felt and maybe stretched out a bit more than usual.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I feel like I've been really present the last few days anyway, but and I've been really quite productive and things have felt like they've really flowed.
mm,
But to me, it still feels like, whoa, like it's, even though I feel present, it still feels like it's moving really fast. Like so
mhm,
much is changing, so much is shifting really rapidly.
mhm,
Um, I don't know if it's because it's the end of the year and we just kind of see it as, yeah, the end of the year, like doing quickly, I need to catch up before, I start again. It's like we have in our
mm,
head because we go by the
mhm,
calendar that it's like this time of year, isn't it? And that's what it feels like for me. It's yeah,
mhm.
it's that everything's kind of getting into place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Well, I would agree that December feels like it is calling us into getting things in order or becoming more stabilized in what our foundation is in preparation for the new year. And I
Yes.
don't know if it's because my situation coming into this end of the year, I'm not as stressed as I might have been in previous years,
Mhm.
juggling multiple hats.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that sense of impending finish line, or quite often it feels like I'm carrying myself through to this point where I can relax and rest and put
Yeah.
everything down before I start up again. And I don't feel that so much at the moment. It
Mm.
feels that there's a real softness about
Hmm.
moving through this month. Having said that, though, I think that we're still feeling and witnessing moments of things that are coming to completion, or that we're being shown that we've moved through, so that we're not carrying it in any way, shape, or form forward. Um, so yeah, there's definitely lots of feels.
Yeah.
Mm,
But it feels almost like you said that I feel the softness too. I feel like it just at some level some sense of trust. I don't know,
hmm.
maybe that's what we've learned this year. I know that has come up a
Yes.
lot and
Yeah.
maybe
Hmm.
that really has landed and it's like, okay, this is your new part of your new foundations moving forward is
Hmm.
you've seen how it works, so just trust and then you don't get the stress, you don't get the overwhelm, you don't get the anxiety. You don't get the, like you said, oh, it's coming up to the end of the year. I'm about to, have time off work and
Hmm.
or whatever it is, really like needing that break.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it feels like, and for lack of a better way to put it, like everything's under control.
Yes. Yeah. No,
You
that's
know what I
true.
mean? Like
Mhm.
without, I don't, but
Yeah, that's
that's what
true.
it feels like. It's like,
Hmm.
everything's taken care of. It's just happening.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, definitely. I hadn't thought about it like that, but that does feel a lot different. I think also as well within that trust is the I'm not so worried about what 2026 is looking like.
mhm.
Normally this time of year as well, it's that starting to switch into, okay, well, what's coming and what's happening. And
Yes.
I feel a lot more peace and trust with the
Hmm.
unfolding of what is will be.
Yes. Yeah, just letting it roll. Yeah, yeah, without
And
that stress of wanting to, of worrying about like, what can I do differently next year? What am I going to change
yeah,
next year? It just doesn't feel like that. Yeah.
even from a planning perspective, because it's come in over the last few days of um, me not needing to know as well, like as
Mm.
in just some travel plans and things that I want to
Yeah.
lock in. And it's like, not yet, not yet. And it's really interesting because normally I'm someone that likes to know and to plan in advance, or just even, because it's a not negotiable, because it's connected to Keely, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
I want to put it in and lock it in, but intuitively I'm being shown not the door's not open for that yet, I guess is the
Yeah.
best way of saying that. And it's okay, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You know it's going to happen. You know you're doing these things. It's just
Yeah.
when is like, okay, yeah, it will come. It will
Waiting for
come.
the right moment, which,
Yeah.
I think this year has shown, or as I was reflecting to you the other day, thinking about like 2 years ago, this time was when we started talking about potentially going to Mount Shasta that first time, and just even witnessing the way things have unraveled through that time. We've just always known that when the moment is, haven't we, like in our own ways, but we've always known
Yeah.
when things are right for us and when it's right for us to do. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
witnessing, as you said, probably what it comes back to is witnessing the trust that we have,
Yeah.
the softness to the surrender of knowing it will be what it needs to be.
That's it. Yeah. Just letting just doing everything, just doing it intuitively. Like
Hmm.
look at we were planning, we were really hard trying to plan a trip to Uluru. And the needle kept moving, and it was like, no, we're not ready. No, the things would come up for us, and we couldn't get
Hmm.
there. We changed it. We tried to put it off to the end of the year. It's just like
Yeah.
I think we were being shown then very much around travel and
Hmm.
trying to plan ahead too much and trying to organize things when we could feel ourselves there was a certain clunkiness.
Yeah.
None of us could agree on where we wanted to stay. We couldn't
Yeah.
agree on when we wanted to go there, what we were going to do there. Like it just didn't flow, did it? And then you look at New Zealand, and that just happened very late in the piece. We were like,
Hmm.
right, let's go. And it was
Hmm.
literally a couple of weeks before, and then we
Hmm.
went.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Hmm.
so I think we've been shown,
Yeah.
um, to just
Well, the
trust
old
it.
the
Yeah.
and the old when the door's closed, leave it
Yeah.
closed. Don't keep trying to pry it open.
I know. Yeah, which Uluru was a big lesson in that,
Mm,
I think. And we know we still want to go, and that's on the cards for next year. But whether it happens or
yeah.
whether it doesn't, but when you look back at it and you reflect on our journey trying to organize that,
Mm,
it just didn't, it just didn't feel right, did it? Nothing
no,
was lining
no.
up. Mm.
No, and I think that that's an example of lots of things when I reflect on different offerings or, connections, different experiences, and the way those things have happened. And there's no right or wrong to any of it. It just hasn't been, I don't know if it's aligned or it just
Mm.
hasn't wanted to come together in that particular way at that moment.
Yes.
So part of, yeah, and part of looking into 2026 brings me some excitement because it's like, well, I actually don't really know what that's
Yeah.
going to look like. And
Yeah.
so I mean, look, I, I think I'd be lying if they said there wasn't a little bit of fear that's trying to like come through, but a
The
majority of it
unknown.
is, yeah, is excitement about the possibility.
That's the best way to be. That makes it fun. That makes it spontaneous. And then when opportunities do arrive and doors do open, it's like,
Hmm.
yes, like
Mm,
it's fun and it's adventurous. And yeah, that's such a good way to be. I used to talk to Alex about this all the time. Alex that we
hmm.
used to be in
Hmm.
Star Mothers with, and I just adore her. And we used to work together on the book club, the Star Mothers book club.
Hmm.
And I was the captain organized. I liked to make sure things were on time. We knew what we were doing. You had to have a little bit of planning for something like that. But she was always like, stop, like stop trying to plan everything. Just go with it, you know? And I really learned a lot from her around that. And I think I've learned a lot around that this year with like what we've just spoken about
Hmm.
is let
Hmm.
go, just let go of control, which has always been a big thing for me. And it's
Hmm.
something I still catch myself with is trying to be in control um, because I don't like the feeling of feeling out of control.
Of course.
But I've
Mm.
come to a bit of a, there's a lot more peace around that now. I think that's a common thing for a lot of people to feel, but that stems from our experiences and what we've,
Hmm.
where we've walked on our journey. But um, yeah, it brings a whole new energy, doesn't it, when you
Hmm.
just release the reins
Hmm.
and live intuitively. Like we're always talking about that. Follow
Hmm.
your intuition, but when you
Yeah.
actually do it, and I think we've seen that this year, you too, with the moves that you've made this year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and like you said, at this time of year now, it feels like the energies of this year are kind of coming to a close. And there's a certain relief around that, I think, probably for many of us, because we've all been saying all year, like, holy shit, what even fucking happened this year? Like, what was it? I know we say it
Mm.
every year, but this year felt really different, didn't it, to
Yes.
the
Yeah.
previous years?
Mm.
Um, but it feels like the energies of the next year are they're already filtering through, and they're
Yeah, there's
being
a
woven
bridging.
in already.
Mm.
So it's like like you
Mm.
said, a softening, a
Mm.
soft entrance into that new year, new cycle.
Well, and I wonder if that is too because we're becoming more adept at also witnessing the cycles. And while
Yes.
this year has been so intense for most of us, and there
Mm,
has been that continual completion and death and rebirth
yeah.
in such a deep way, it also has created a softening because we've learnt to lean into it.
Hmm.
We've learnt to honor the completion and the ending, witnessing that it's always bridging what is to come.
Hmm.
And so I love that because I do feel like for me, December's energies are very much the bridge point.
Yes.
Because it's kind of been shared with me that it's like a vibrational path from where we are and into
I feel that.
the
I feel
new.
that. Yeah. Mm,
So the 12-12 is kind of this point too. For me, it's very much about balance and very much about the bridge between the two cycles, like
yes.
of the
Yeah.
ending and the new beginning. And I
Hmm.
didn't really understand that until this year, but it always signifies the one and the two, some point where I am transitioning.
Hmm.
And so there is this feeling as well that's coming in about, and I spoke to you about this yesterday, that's also creating that stabilization for us
Yeah.
in that.
Uh-huh.
So we're now like when we're less sort of wishy-washy or like think of it like a tightrope, whereas now we're actually on a bridge or a beam at the moment, let's say, rather than a
Hmm.
tightrope. But the
Yeah.
more that we understand this and soften to that,
Hmm.
the bigger that becomes.
Yep.
And so it will be like a bridge, a wide path,
Yeah.
the more that we move forward through
Yeah,
it,
I love that.
because we're also weaving in the as I said to you again, this is just again my own take on it and what's happening and what I'm witnessing with myself, but bringing real awareness to this being the master timeline through the master incarnation, whatever words you want to use.
Hmm.
So there's been a lot of merging, harmonization, and coming into coherence to create the stable point too from moving forward here.
Yeah.
And for me, what I'm witnessing from literally from December 1st was these waves of also old fear starting to come forward
Mhm.
or opportunities to experience where something might have been fearful for me. And I'm really meeting it in this energy and meeting it kind of head on with
Mhm.
awareness now. And it's not comfortable, but I also am trusting and knowing that it's got something to do with this point of um, bringing that into coherence and merging that in, and that then forming part of the stabilization of what next time I move through that or witness that or feel that, it won't be felt in the same way. Does that
No,
make sense?
the foundation's already there. You're not
Yeah.
walking on the beam anymore. You're walking on the platform, on the full-on bridge.
Yeah.
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 But as a consequence, there are these are sort of old fears and feeling things in a way that it's like, I haven't felt this energy in such a long time.
Hmm.
But then when I move through it, it's like, oh, I can see why. Like it's like wrapping that in and bringing it. Like I always say to my clients as well, it's like things, when you're about to make that breakthrough, things get worse before they get better. So it culminates, doesn't it, into this really intense point.
It does.
But
Yeah.
then if you hold yourself in that, soften to it, it allows you to move in
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Like
move
you
through, move through.
through. I was going to say, like you say,
Yeah.
you got to go through it. That's you
Yeah.
always say that. You can't
I
go around
do.
it. You
I
can't go over
do.
it. You got to go through it.
We're
And
going on a
fear
bear
is,
hunt.
yeah, yeah, yes. That's it. That's it. And fear is one of the biggest and most challenging things to walk through, isn't it?
Hmm.
It really is. But you know what's on the other side of it is always, you know, amazing. And then
Yeah.
that fear, it moves along. It shifts. It's like, yeah, bye.
Well, I also think it's an opportunity to witness that thing that what I was fearful of or I avoided doing or was uncomfortable to do is no longer that
No,
way.
it doesn't have power over you anymore.
No, no. So
Yeah.
it's that real opening of the subconscious release of the
Yes.
fear that's being
Yep.
held there on
Yeah.
whatever that is, the irrational. That's the other piece that's been coming up a lot is really witnessing what is the truth? Like, what is the truth of this? Um, and being really aware of that fear to truth, fear to truth, fear to truth, bring it to truth, bring it to truth. And that's
Love that.
I feel like that's piece of the mastery journey, isn't it? Because I
Yeah.
feel like we've been doing that and aware of that, but there's a different level that I've witnessed. And like weaving it back to, you can hear my throat already going because weaving it back to the trust is like I'm even this month being stretched into places that I feel uncomfortable. Um, but I'm trusting the call that has asked me to step into this now, not
Yeah.
next year. It's like
No.
step into this now.
Hmm.
And I believe it's because of this vibrational map too. It's like stepping into this will allow me to create that stabilization and harmonization to who I am in this iteration of me in that embodied sovereign expression, like in the embodiment of it,
Yeah.
which is why I can't yet really foresee a lot of 2026 because I have to do that first to
Yes.
witness what that will be because
Hmm.
the choice point thing is huge, don't you
Hmm.
feel too? Like, because
Yep.
obviously there are so many, we could choose at any moment. And I know
Yeah.
we've spoken a lot about this too. And what we choose in this moment, like for 2026, might um direct us in a particular way. But if in a day's time I might choose something different, it's going to take us somewhere else as well. So
Yeah.
there has to be a little bit of the embodied stabilization. It's like coming through my throat. The embodied and the stabilization of that, this to sustain that, to hold into what
Hmm.
really is going to be the key. For me, I see it as a key choice of the experience that I want to have, that I
Yeah.
feel that I'm here to have, or that I
Hmm.
desire to be and do. So there's a lot of moving parts sometimes that are in the unseen and that's been another strong message from my team about don't discount when it feels like nothing's happening because there's a lot happening in the unseen.
Mm.
Just because,
Always.
yeah, the mind is not seeing something, there is a lot that is actually occurring. And to be with that stillness.
Yeah.
So that the softness of December also feels to me like another opportunity to be connected to stillness, to presence, to pause.
Yes, because we've spoken about that so many times where that, like you just said, that's where things are happening behind the scene. That's where things are falling into place. That's where the integration and the embodiment is actually happening in those times of stillness because we need to be in those times of stillness to let the body to create space, I suppose,
Mhm.
to let the body rest, to let the body be open to receiving and doing what it needs to do, to recalibrate without interference of, you know, anything else.
Mhm.
We need to be in those moments of stillness and really honor them. And that's where the change takes place.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so allowing ourselves to do it, isn't it? Because the
Mhm.
mind is going to tell us to do 100 other things,
Yeah.
or something is going to happen where we draw into that external experience because it feels easier than actually allowing and sitting with that, isn't it? To
Yeah. 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 Mm.
the
I think,
busyness of the year,
yeah,
the
yeah,
busyness of the end of the year. There's a story that the mind will always throw up, or the ego and subconscious will throw up. And I think that it's important to really be, I think this is why the timepiece is also feeling, I mean, lots of different reasons, but one of the reasons for me the timepiece is so I'm witnessing the moment to moment is because it's really saying, don't go anywhere else, like be right here with this now. Because the
yeah.
temptation, even with me meeting the fear that's rising up on different things,
Mm.
is to want to be pulled out into that, or to be, to go and distract myself with something else, to do something menial just so I don't have to sit with it or
Yeah,
whatever. um, and so I think the presence in the present is just the key again, coming back
yeah,
in and allowing the softening to it all.
yeah. And you watch, like I've watched so many things over the last couple of weeks, um, just be taken care of.
Mm,
And coming to the end of the year,
yeah.
like I have, all of these birthdays in my family. Then there's Christmas, then there's New Year's, then there's my oldest son Apollo's birthday on the 7th of January. Like we get hammered at the end of the
Hmm.
year, and all
Hmm.
of the school things that are now starting to
Hmm.
happen, and all of the things that I need to, like it's my dad's 70th, my sister's 40th, so I've got to get them like
Oh,
meaningful
wow.
gifts and all this,
Mm.
like we're having
Hmm.
parties and we're fuck, like there's so much going on, but I haven't let myself get stressed about it.
Mm.
And everything has just turned up or like been held out in front of me almost. It's actually really bizarre. I've never experienced, and I know that's just like a really, mundane lifey example, but that's just it, you can see it. Like we're being shown not to stress about shit. Like things we're looked after.
Mm.
It's like we've got it, we've got everything sorted at another level that we can't, it's in the unseen. We can't see it, but
Yes.
it's all being done. And it's, yeah, I've been really noticing it in the small things. The really,
Which
yeah,
I love, because it's
yeah,
in the small things, it's in the human things that we want to see that and feel that,
yeah,
because that's bringing it into the human experience, isn't it?
it
That's
is.
what
Yeah.
being the divine and embodied in and having this human experience is all about.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
think that's really powerful to witness it happening in those small things, because that's what
Yeah.
we want to be. We want help to have this, because we're letting go of that story that being a
Yeah.
human or being like life is hard, it's
Hard.
challenging,
That's
you
it.
know.
That's it.
So
Mm.
so that's a great example to witness and to share that it is available to you in those mundane moments, in the small
Yeah.
moments. Mm.
Yeah. And I can even, like that's been the story of this year for me, is really humanizing everything
Yeah.
and really bringing the divinity into physicality instead
Mm.
of looking out there and wanting to seek more and know more and learn more and remember more and all that. This has been a year of full on anchoring and embodiment. And I think it has for a lot of people.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I've been seeing, like I said, the really simple things just just taken care of in a way. And I've also noticed on that journey and with those things, the times that I have tried to control something and be in control and be organized and like, no, I'm doing it this way. I'm going to this place to get this gift, or I'm going to, it doesn't work. It doesn't,
Mm.
I'm being detoured. And
Mm.
it's like, just let it go. Just let it go
Mm.
and it will
Which I
present
love.
itself. And it
Mm.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
You're the walking, talking, living, breathing example of being to the divinity and physicality piece.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
important to
cool.
me.
Mm,
It's the words I live by. I've lived by this year, and I think it was our first episode we spoke about was, the human journey is the spiritual journey,
mm,
and it is, yeah.
mhm,
And I think you
mhm,
really reach a point which we've touched on before, where you really your focus comes back to that descent back into the
yeah.
body, and that's
Mhm,
where the biggest remembrance comes. There's the remembrance of, yeah, there's so much more to our soul. We're from here, there, and everywhere. We're connected to these star systems and other dimensions and blah, 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 blah.
mhm.
But it's that descent back into
Okay.
your
Mm,
your physicality and your human experience where we're having another huge remembrance. And that's probably what has been a lot of the energies and themes for me anyway this year is exactly that, is remembering that we're human
mhm,
right now, and that we do get to walk as humans and be as humans
mm,
led by our divinity.
mm,
We don't need to worry and control everything. We know the divinity within us
mhm.
knows what to do, where to go, knows the answers, knows what's next. We just have to learn and remember to trust it.
Absolutely, which is where we started this conversation too, is both of us are feeling soul-led. I mean, essentially,
Yeah.
that's heart-led, soul-led.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
trust and the moving forward with it. But I
Yeah.
agree with you as well. I think that this year too, and it's culminating probably in the last month or two, but definitely this month is to really the descent of that light in the body and really
Mm.
as I said, I know I keep saying this phrase 100 times, but embodied sovereign expression is what I
Yeah.
keep hearing.
Hmm.
That's what we're doing, is we're
Yep.
descending in and really incarnating into the body,
Yeah.
is what it feels
Yes.
like as I say
Yeah.
that. um, and witnessing through the solstice. And I feel like we have this opportunity to simultaneously be with the winter and the summer. I don't know if you feel this way, but it's like tapping into two sides of that coin, because it
Hmm.
feels like we're going to go through this sort of rest and slowing down and more of an inward state. But then that you might expect in winter energy. And then in the summer, though, what I've heard is it will be like an ignition point, because it's like when that light, we've descended the light
Mm.
into the body, and it's like,
Hmm.
it's not a big fireworky thing by any means,
Yep. But
but
it's
it's
happening.
going to. But it's happening. It's going to ignite just that remembering of this physical incarnation,
Yep.
because so many star seeds are still struggling with that. I
I
still
know.
talk to a lot of people about that. And it's that real embracing of this human incarnation and physical
Yes.
experience,
Yeah.
because this is the point that we're at in the evolutionary journey, to put
Yes.
it really broadly,
Yeah.
is to really claim and be here and pillar moving into 2026, because we are the new earth frequency. So we
Yes.
have to remember that we are that frequency, and we're
Yes.
pillaring it, we're creating it,
Yes.
we're founding it
Yep.
through that.
Through our
Di-
bodies
that's
as
right.
connected to the earth and the
That's
earth's
right.
grids.
That's
We gotta
right.
fucking be here in the body, in the human,
Mm,
to create the new consciousness here, to anchor the new consciousness here.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it's
Hmm.
there's no good being stuck in the phase of or the feelings of, and I know because I've been there and I'm sure you have too, of I want to go home. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
When you know of your cosmic origins and lineage, it feels really fucking dense and really hard here. And
Hmm.
you're like, you know what, you'd rather be disconnected and dissociate from here and be connected to the higher realms because it feels better, it's beautiful.
Hmm.
And we're lucky because we get to do this kind of work, nearly every
Hmm.
day and enter those frequencies and play in those. But those feelings, it's a form of like it's an entrapment almost, where star seeds feel like they don't want to be here. They want to go home. That and it's a terrible yearning. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
experienced that so many times over the years where I've cried and cried, I want to go home. It's like that's not home.
Hmm.
Here is actually home, and it's something you have to move through, isn't it? And eventually
Absolutely.
you come to a point where something switches, and that's what this year has really been.
Mm, definitely. And I think the understanding too of the fact that A, we chose here, we chose to come here and we chose to do
Mhm.
this, but this is why, this is the moment why we came and chose was to really
Yeah.
create this through our own embodiment of our divine architecture. We're
Yeah.
creating the new earth architecture
Yeah. Physically,
um,
we're bringing it into
physically.
physicality. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, for all those people that are like, well, what's my mission? What's my purpose? What am I doing here? Like, this is what you're doing here.
Yeah.
And I feel like I probably annoy people because this is what I say all the time. At the base level, yes, there's other things that we're all here to do that are unique to
Yeah.
us, but as a
Hmm.
base level, this is why this is our collective purpose or our collective mission. And
Yeah.
all we
Yep.
have to do is accept that personal
Hmm.
embodiment and be that pillar of that frequency and hold that and share that, express that then in whatever way we want to
Yes.
through the physicality.
Yeah.
And you're like halfway, more than halfway there.
That's it. And it's
You don't
all the
have to
little,
do much more than that.
no. That's it. And sometimes, because it's such a big question, isn't it? Like, what's my mission? What's my purpose? And um, yeah, I think that's a very common thread for if everybody can just feel that is, yeah, there's a
Well,
reason why we're
well, to
here
me,
right now.
that's the base point too, in
Yeah.
terms of when you do that, because I'm witnessing that through my own journey. The
Mm,
rest of the pieces of my purpose or my individual purpose and mission, however
hmm.
you want to frame that, or what else I'm here to do, has come from me just doing that inner work, me just being that, me stepping into that, and then the pieces keep coming forward.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been revealed for me. So I
Yes,
think it's a great starting point is
it
to
is.
focus on your embodiment and your
Yeah.
physical incarnation.
Yeah.
And like we've talked about, because we both are MSI practitioners, but even the way that the soul integration is coming forward, it's coming to bring more into this physicality, to bring more into this incarnation,
Hmm.
to help us in this
Yep.
shift.
It is like we've spoken about, from the whole past 12 months, Nelly, all of my sessions have predominantly been about frequency, like the
Mm,
frequencies and consciousness that the soul wants to
yeah,
integrate, and remember and bring back in, because that's obviously what they need to like anchor in here, or
yeah, yeah,
and I think that although we have these, this mission that's it's a collective mission, if you like
mm,
we just spoke about, it really comes from connecting with our divinity, connecting with the
mhm,
God self, source energy, creator energy, whatever it is, like connecting with the divinity within ourselves. And um I think it also, all of those personal experiences and the unique journeys that we're all on, it is all of those parts too that weave through that mission. That's how
mm,
we walk through our mission, is through our own personal journey and the things that we learn. And like you
mm,
said, doing the inner work, and then the things that just crop up for you to
yep,
address, or whatever it may be. That's all part of it as well. That's, as we do that stuff, our frequency shifts. We embody, different
yeah,
frequencies, and we release density, and all of that contributes to what we anchor here
of
on
course.
Earth.
Mm.
Mm.
And what I was hearing as you were talking then was Spirit was saying as well, it's like clues, because what are you walking through? Because
Yeah.
what you walk through, what your lessons are, your learnings and your experience,
Hmm.
it's also likely something that you are here to expand in a greater
Yeah.
way. So clues
Hmm.
to your individual purpose
Yeah.
and mission
Hmm.
role will come through what the experiences are that you are having.
Absolutely. The initiations, the things that we
Mm,
experience, that alchemizes into wisdom, and then that's the wisdom that we have to share.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So allowing those to be the clues
Hmm.
as you're collecting the puzzle pieces, they're the
Yeah.
clues that are also helping to
Yeah.
bring that. glue that in.
Glue it in, yeah. And
Mm.
the gifts that we all have, we all have gifts, no matter in what way we share them, whether it is our, like for you and I, our income, our the line of work that we're in, or whether it's in other ways, everybody has gifts. And I feel like our gifts, something that dropped in for me recently, was they are a set of instructions for you.
Mm.
Those abilities and those things that
Yes.
are innately, within you, they're a part of you and they move through you and they come from the soul. They're your divine gifts. They are a set of instructions in themselves.
I love that.
Mm.
That's such a, yeah, that's such a great point. Mm.
Thank you for joining us in this space of truth, reflection, and connection. If today's conversation stirred something within you, we invite you to sit with it, journal on it, or share it with someone who walks the path of self-awareness too.
These conversations are living transmissions, and we are so grateful to be on this journey with you. Until next time, remember your human experience is sacred and you are never walking alone.
With love, Lauren
and Ali.